Ryan and Kevin, they're spitting the truth, keeping it real, keeping it orange and blue. Talking recruit, who's next in line? Line our pride, it's about that time. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue. From the court to the field, every play, every step. Debating the cause where the game is at. Who's rising, who's falling, who's making the cut. Line 9 for life, never stuck in the rut. Okay, recruiting buzzer got the inside line. Post-game chatter, they're always on time. Breaking it down, they're the voices you trust. Orange and blue, yeah, they repping for us. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. So tune in, lean back, let the wisdom flow. Ryan and Kevin with the knowledge they throw. Line 9 Nation, this one's for you. Forever proud, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah.
Well, it's Monday night. You know what that means. Another Keeping It Orange and Blue. What's up, Kevin? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Excited about tomorrow, obviously. Got a big game. Our boys in the Hoop Squad handle business today. So some kind of interesting nuggets out there on the basketball recruiting front. Some familiar names in the transfer portal that Illinois was targeting. So it's just it's going to be a fun off season for football, and basketball's peering up. And despite my Bears losing to the Niners, looks like a good offense. The defense is garbage, but might have a quarterback. So,
yeah, I think
first time in my life I could probably say that. So, other than Cutler, but
I was about to say that we're not going to hit home too much on the Bears, but I think it's worthy to say that's a kind of loss that you can tolerate. Yeah, like sure you would have loved the 1 seed, but to know you can go head to head with the Niners in case it comes again. That could be the NFC Championship rematch there in San Francisco.
Maybe. I think Seattle's going to probably beat the 49ers. But that's
okay. Well, I'm just saying. We'll see. But I think the Bears can say they have a head coach. They have a quarterback. They've definitely got a running back. You've got some really good wide receivers.
Yeah, when you look at the Bears hitting on Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, and Kyle Monungai, all in the last draft from offensive pieces, that's saying something. So yeah,
man, and we talked about it, dude. When they drafted Monungai in the 7th round, I said steal.
Yep, I thought the same thing.
Man, if anybody who watched Big Ten football knew Kyle Monungai was tough. So that's a great pickup. So anyway, a lot going on with the Bears. So Illinois today, took care of business against Southern, 90-55, and they're trending well. Obviously, we talked about it last week where they basically just beat up Missouri, and Illinois pushed themselves into the top 10 and in the net. They haven't posted a new AP top 25 poll for some reason.
I think it's the holiday season, the fact that there's a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm thinking tomorrow it'll come out.
Yeah,
I'm expecting Illinois to bump up probably in closer to the 16, 17, probably somewhere in there. But yeah, and their metrics defensively and offensively, Kev, are going like this.
Yeah, 2 or 3 in KenPom offensively, 25th defensively. I mean, that's the biggest thing about the basketball team is you hold Missouri to 48, hold Southern to 55. This Southern team took Washington to double overtime.
Yeah.
Now they got boat raced by some other major conference teams, but they can find ways to score, and they did a great job from turnovers. They're supposedly a pretty good 3-point shooting team today. We didn't see that. Illinois took that away from them. So that was a nice thing to see from Illinois from a defensive perspective. In the last 2 games, the opponents are averaging 51.5 points per game, which has been a bugaboo for this team at times. They seem really well connected on the defensive end. That was the biggest highlight for me out of that game.
Obviously Keaton Wagler is just
phenomenal.
He's just getting better, as we say, every game, right? That's what's scary too, is like people are saying like, oh, Illinois' ceiling is this, all these people, it's the ceiling's the Sweet 16. Is it?
No.
Yeah, because if Keaton Wagler keeps getting better, and Illinois keeps getting healthier, and there's guys like I told you last week, Kevin, I love everything that Zvonimir Ivicic is giving Illinois right now.
Yes.
Like, consistently going to hit open shots, consistently going to be a threat at the rim to block people's shots. He gives you energy. He gives you a little bit of competitive edge. Sure, it hurt us against Nebraska to a degree, but he's just giving you something, when Tomislav isn't in there, where you're like, I don't feel like we're losing anything.
No, you can lose a little bit of the passing, maybe a little bit of the playmaking from Tommy, a little bit of the true back to the basket, but you gain it with the fact he's more athletic, he's a better rim protector, he's got the ability to catch the lobs, like you say, in the pick and roll action. They're different, but they both add a lot to what Illinois is trying to do, and it's that was a big difference last year when Tommy was out or came out. You'd have Merez playing the 5, and love Merez what he did. He's not really a true 5. He's better suited at a 4 than playing a traditional 4 role, which is what he's thriving at Michigan. I don't think that'd work here at Illinois, what we want to do, so that's fine. But, yes, it's huge. And then one of the things that we didn't do enough today is I want more true post-ups for Tommy. And you notice that every time we went true post-up for Tommy, something good happened. Now, granted, he missed the one little baby hook, but I'll take that shot every time. It was halfway in and out. But the thing is that, he got a nice little turnaround bucket, when they fed him. Other times we resulted in a 3. I mean, we only did it 4 or 5 times maybe, and everything positive happened from it. That's why I'd like to see more from this offense. From the defensive perspective, running more zone, it's great. When you've got Zvonimir in the middle that can just plug things up there. And then you have games from you're able to win a game by 35, and you didn't need much scoring at all from Boswell or Stojakovic. I think this team's ceiling is higher than people think because of what they can be in March. I don't think that they're a fully together product as of yet.
Rogers may be coming back too.
Right. And you factor in just what you talked about, our star guard, Keaton Wagler, he's the best player on the team. Like, it is what it is right now. He's the best player on the team. He doesn't ever hunt shots. Like, I'm shocked. I've rarely have ever seen a freshman star guard or wing who doesn't hunt shots. And it, like, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, hunted shots. Kasparis routinely hunted shots. Will Riley hunted shots. And they should. They're really good basketball players. They're the best offensive basketball players on their teams. Wagler kind of lets everything come to him. He just lets it, and it just is so – he's just mature beyond his years, man. Not only is he young, he looks young too. Like, he's got baby face. But, man, the kid can play. He just is –
while he can hunt shots, he actually makes the team better because he's helping distribute and creating open shots for other 100%.
Guys. When he gets in that lane, he does that little 2-foot stop where he can work off
his turn, man. He has that spin move down, man.
Yep. And if you're going to leak off, he's going to shoot it. And it's funny, he missed a wide open 3 today. I was watching the game with my brother-in-law. I was like, "Oh, that's a layup. That's good." And he missed it. I was shocked. I mean, that's what he's become as a shooter. And so, I mean, the first bucket of the game was him. It's like, wow, the kid's a stud. And then you got games like, I thought David Merkovich was really good today. Limited minutes. I don't think Brad was very happy with him, so I'm getting his ass a couple times. I don't know what for, but he's just such a phenomenal passer and just makes things happen. I know he had a little bit of a turnover bugaboo today. And then I got called out for it. 6 Shooter, what's up, on Twitter about the Jake Davis game.
Yeah, Jake Davis did what you wanted, though. He made him.
Right. That's my biggest thing is I'm so fine with Jake Davis getting the minutes if he's going to shoot 45 to 50% from 3 in a game where he goes 5 of 6, and of the 5 of the 6 threes that he took, 5 of them were completely wide open. He missed 1. That's fine. And then he made a tough one when he was just feeling himself. It's like, yes, that's what I want to see from him. So,
So, and one thing we haven't mentioned yet in this episode, but what matters is I think why Illinois is playing better now is, guess what? Roles are being defined, correct?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You're seeing a guy like David Merkovich come into his role and know, like, hey, they don't need me to give him 20 today, I don't need to give him 20 and 20. I can pass up a bunch of shots just because I could take this 3 right now. I can find a better shot.
Yep.
Right. And then guess what? Ben Hummerkaus, he's out there playing confident because he knows his role, and he's He's helping block shots around the rim. He's rebounding, right? He's taking open shots when he gets them. And I feel confident when he's shooting them right now that more of them are going to go in than they're not. So I think,
sure.
so that's what's can make this team be pretty scary. So they take on Penn State Saturday at the I was wrong. It's not in Happy Valley. It's at the Palestra in Philadelphia. So Penn State plays, which is not a home game for them. They don't do very well there. So every time Illinois seems to play Penn State, it's at somewhere else.
Third version of Huff Hall.
Yeah, but this is different. This is where Penn plays. I think the Palestra.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is coached now by Fran McCaffrey. So, a little tidbit there. But so Illinois, 6 p.m. Saturday, looks to go to 2-1 in the Big Ten. It's a game Illinois is going to be favored by double digits. You can't take any road game in the Big Ten lightly. I would say if Illinois plays like they've been playing and is a focused, determined team to guard, I don't see why they won't win by 12 to 15 points on the road. I think Penn State's got some guys that can score. They played Michigan State pretty tough in Happy Valley, but there won't be no fans, no students there, and it's not really a home court advantage for them. It's more of a neutral game, but meaning like neutral court because this is a whole pretty much brand new team. Maybe 2 guys have played at the Palestra, so it's not like they have some advantage.
Caden Mingo's the guy you got to watch out for, 5-star recruit.
Freshman. Yep.
Yeah, really good freshman. Still shocked he went to Penn State, but whatever.
And then they got a kid named Dillion. Yeah. He's probably their second best player. But yeah, so they got a couple bigger international bigs, a little slower, more closer to Tomislav, but they don't shoot it like those guys. They don't shoot it like the Avicic brothers. But again, another nice test to get it rolling before, you get a home slate of Rutgers coming, and then you got to go at Iowa. So these are 2 games in the Big Ten. Illinois can get to 3-1 in the Big Ten if they take care of business, and head up for a big matchup with Iowa in the next couple weeks. So,
they really have a really good opportunity to rip off some wins here.
Yep.
Penn State, Rutgers at Iowa will be a tough one. That's a good team, but I think Illinois, they're not very big. I think Illinois is going to be able to use their size advantage there. Northwestern at their place. Martinelli might not.
Minnesota at home. I think if Illinois can just take care of that, right? Illinois is they'll be 15-3 and 6-1.
16-3 running into Purdue is what you'd really hope for that. So
16-3 and then 6 or 7-1 in the Big Ten. Yeah.
That's where this team should be. If they want bigger aspirations, top 4 seed, that's what this team needs to go out and handle business. So
yeah. All right. So we'll discuss that Penn State game next week. But I think what is worthy to talk more about today is the Music City Bowl tomorrow in Nashville against Tennessee, 4:30 p.m. I believe it's ESPN. And it's got its own slate. It's a prime slate. No other bowl games going on during that time. And it's going to be a night game in Nashville. It's dark at 4:30. So you're playing in the Titans Nissan Stadium. And Illinois unveiled those sweet blue helmets, Kevin. What do you think of those?
I like it. I really do like it. I'd like to see a white version of that someday.
Yeah. And I love Miles Scott's reaction. He could not believe that Brett Bielema did that. Right. I can't believe Coach B is changing this up a little bit. The blue helmets. So the blue script helmets, which is nice. So it's wear Navy in Nashville. And of course, this will be not only Luke Altmyer's, but a bunch of guys like Miles Scott, Tanner Arkin, Dylan Rosiak, Josh Kreutz, their final game.
Beatty.
Yep, our boy Hank Beatty, can't forget him. I will say this, as much as while I'm going to make it a little more about Luke here, there's other guys that I really am going to miss, like Hank Beatty, man. Just watching him grow into the guy, man. Imagine getting him one more year, He's been fun to watch, and there's a bunch of guys that I don't see why Hank Beatty doesn't have what it takes to play on an NFL roster. You know,
I mean, you're seeing what Isaiah Williams is doing with the Jets. There's they're so similar in stature, and I mean, I think that Isaiah might be slightly quicker. I think Hank's probably a little bit more adept at like breaking the tackle or two. So no, I mean, I think, and I say that. I mean, how many times have we run like sweeps or stuff for Isaiah Williams at the goal line where he would run through a tackle or two? So they're very similar in that regard. I think that he can find a role as a returner, special teams guy, and then work his way into being like fourth, fifth wide receiver. And if there's some injuries, which we see, I mean, you look at the Bears, there's all kinds of guys. So, we'll figure that out and we'll get him in the game. So, yeah, it'd be great. I'm great for that. Brandon's talking a lot. He's down there. I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of posts. It does look like an awesome environment. Yeah, I do remember a year ago we were having a good time down in Orlando, and I wish I could make it, but we had plans already to go see. I'm at my in-laws' house. I'm in my father-in-law's little office area here, so I will not be able to make the game, unfortunately. But it looks like Illinois is going to turn out. We're going to have a really good crowd for it. I think this game is going to mean more to Illinois, and I'll get into that with some predictions here in a little bit. But
you see, Keaton looks like an 18-year-old SGA.
I've been very cautious about saying that, but I kind of see it too. Like, I don't know if he's quite laterally as quick, but it's just he's very that's SGA is one of the smartest basketball players on the planet, and there's some similarities there.
Yeah, and they're both under the rim kind of guys. And they're just really smooth.
Yeah, and you see it, like SGA gets up and throws down a dunk pretty easily when he wants to. It's just not his game. I think we haven't seen it from Keaton, but I'm sure he can do it pretty easily.
And by the way, our guy in Lexington, keeping it real down there. What's up, Big Reese? We appreciate you. Big Thirsty, as they know, up in Chicago. And Sean Garner, I don't know if Xavier Scott will be back. That's something that really hasn't been discussed. I think it will be an option. I didn't hear if he's even play. I don't think Brett even addressed if he's going to play in this game, did he?
I would imagine not. I don't think it does him any good, right?
Yeah.
So I imagine we're going to see Miles Scott and then some combination of Mac Rasetich and Sabor Kareem. Maybe we get somebody
I'd heard Pat Bryant, which was just a concussion.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be shocked if he plays, and he'll be ready for the playoff game.
Yep.
I don't expect them to play him in Week 18 if they don't need to, especially if they've got the division wrapped up. I think I think they could be the number one seed. Kev, can't they have home field? So they may play guys like they may play Bo Nix and Sutton and all those because they've got the number one seed to wrap up. And even though, a really good chance to beat the Chargers on Sunday because they're setting Justin Herbert, so.
And a lot of their starters, yeah. So
might as well just go full bore to get that number one seed. But anyway.
New England's going to win their game against Miami too, so let's be real here. So.
Yeah. Did you see Brandon SGA spends way more time on the ground?
Hating on my dude. Just hating on my dude.
He's probably getting fouled though, right, Kev?
He is getting fouled. He's going to be the fourth player. He's going to be the second player in NBA history of 4 straight 30-point per game seasons. Only him and Wilt. So.
Wow. Just don't play the Spurs anyway. Right? Yeah. That's that Wemby thing. You know what? In the playoffs, I would pick the Thunder anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, anywho, let's get back to what we were talking about. I would say that now back to Luke. So, he had that pretty – I'll be honest, man. I shed a little bit of a tear watching that 3-minute video. Got me a little choked up. I don't know. Did you watch it?
I did, and I had that moment kind of like walking out of Memorial Stadium after the Northwestern game. It was just like, there were a lot of guys, a lot of seniors left it all out there for and these are seniors who, for a lot of them, now granted, Luke didn't play in the 8-win season of 2022, but Dylan Rosiak did, Miles Scott did, Gabe Akis did,
Hank Beatty did.
Hank Beatty did, those guys. And it was just one of those things like, that's where I had that moment for me. So it was already there. But yeah, I mean, I think Ryan, you said it. Luke Altmyer is my favorite quarterback to ever play at Illinois, and I'm a little bit older than you, so I saw some guys that you didn't see play, and
I miss the Trudeaus. You saw him. I was thinking about this early, Kev, because we didn't talk about this, and I'll let you go. I was thinking you were born in what, 79?
78, yeah.
So you didn't really get tons of Eason and Trudeau. Like, sure, you got a little bit, but like, come on, how much is a 5-6-year-old, 7-year-old?
I was there.
Yeah, but you may have been there at some of them, but you don't remember every big moment of their career, right?
No, I really like the first season. I really remember. I was in the stadium in '83 when we beat Michigan. I was there we beat Ohio State, Iowa. I was at all those games, but I don't remember it very well. I really remember the '85 season. I really remember that USC game. I went to the Peach Bowl in '85. David Williams was my guy. Like, my walls were adorned with David Williams. David Williams and Doug Altenberger were like my two favorite players back then. And so, like, I didn't really think much about the quarterbacks, but then it progressed into like Moore and Minkows.
Jeff George, you got a good slice of Jeff George.
Oh, absolutely, got Jeff George for sure. So that was but yeah, but I look back on it. There's guys I think that don't get the respect from Illinois fans that they really deserve, and Verduzco falls in that category. Shieldhouse falls in that category. Like, people elevate Juice above Shieldhouse because of the wonderful Rose Bowl season. But Nate Shieldhouse was a phenomenal warrior, tough player. But like, Luke Altmyer is my favorite, man. He's just his moxie, his toughness, his swagger. And it was so funny watching that video when he came in. He looked like such a little kid, such a skinny little twerpy kid. And now he's just got swag for days, and he's built, and like, man, it's just his progression's been incredible.
Yeah, and just to piggyback that a little bit, I was thinking, so it was going to come down to Shieldhouse. Well, I will say this: it was three really: Kittner, Shieldhouse,
yep,
and then Luke. And as much as like I skip over Juice, Juice plateaued after his sophomore season.
Yep.
So I already took him out. Kurt Kittner, last Big Ten championship, right, had some great games, beat Michigan there, and
made plays when it counted. Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, I got to have him there. So Shieldhouse, just a guy that was dependable, who would make big plays in moments. But also, I would say this: he was not a guy that was leading tons of like late game comeback wins in big moments. Like, sure, there was the Northwestern comeback, right, at home. And they were down, 35-3 or something. They came back and won 38-35. Yeah. But that was a rarity. Like, Luke Altmyer has so I can't even tell you how many fourth quarter comeback wins he's got. I think it's 12, maybe 13.
It's a lot. Yeah, Toledo, USC, Rutgers. We go down the list, man. Kansas.
It's a lot. Maryland,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I can't count them on both hands if you count all 3 years. So that to me is just like, and think about where the program is now as he's leaving it, right? Like, I know Kurt, Illinois won a Big Ten, but like, it just went to shit the next season. Yeah. So really, where was the program, right? Like, I don't expect, there's no way the program is just going to be just a disaster next year. I think Luke,
there's even guys in this already. Is like, what's the word on a transfer portal quarterback? And there's nothing really popping right now. It'll start here next week. The rumors will get hot and heavy, and there'll be some movement. But the fact is that Illinois has a lot to sell to a guy if they want to transfer in and play quarterback here, and that's because of what Tommy DeVito, and then Tommy DeVito started, and then Luke took a crescendo on. And people are asking, where is he going to get drafted? And some people are saying 7th round. I think it'll be a little bit higher than that. I think his combine and his workouts will tell a lot, right?
He's going to run. He's going to run well. I think it's
going to run a 4.6. Yeah. He's going to interview extremely well. Like, there is no doubt that he is going to wow. There'd be like, this is a guy you want on your team because you drafted him to be a backup quarterback, and then when the situation comes, he will be the perfect complementary teammate. And we can go back to the same thing. Shedeur Sanders is a first-round talent last year that got drafted in the 5th round. And the reason because of it was once he got past all the teams that knew they needed starters, there was this uncertainty. Do I want Shedeur Sanders, which is with a big profile like he has, and I'm not crapping on the kid. He's a really talented player. Do I want that to be my backup quarterback? Nobody wants – same thing like Colin Kaepernick failed in the league is because he became – your backup quarterback cannot be a topic of conversation in the National Football League. It just cannot. If you're going to be a backup quarterback in the National Football League, you just got to kind of sit back, shut up, and when it's your turn to play, you go. So that's what we're going to look – that's where some of these teams are going to look at and say, yeah, maybe. I'd tell you a place I'd love to see him go, but I don't think that they would do this because they're going to draft a little more capital, and I'd love to see him go to the Rams. But I think that the Rams are going to invest a little bit more capital in a guy who can sit behind Stafford for a year or two. But yeah, he'll come up. So, yes, Braden Trimble. I expect Braden Trimble to play. Play tomorrow, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see some packages for him. I don't know if he can return kicks, but man, so Brian 8000 Christopher, what's up, man? That's awesome.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think Luke will get drafted. He's going to be in. I think East West Shrine Senior Bowl. Like he's going to get tons of chances here to show what. Looking forward to see what's coming edge. Makes plays tomorrow. I'll be honest too. I would love, even though I want to win this so bad for us to get to the 9th win, beat another SEC team that was ahead of Illinois all year in the polls. I would love to get a chance to just see Carson Boyd for a quarter or something.
Oh, yeah, or a package, Wildcat.
Yeah, I just want to see him, man. I just want to see, So, but that, and it looks like it's pro Illini crowd, but I will say this. Like, it was like, I don't see a lot of Tennessee fans here. It's in Tennessee. It's in, even if it's like they're going to just show up, guys. They don't have to have a hotel in Nashville. They literally can just drive from Knoxville in the morning, right?
It's a little bit of a haul it's farther from Knoxville than you think. It's a good 2.5 to 3 hours. But yeah, they're not hanging out in the streets of Nashville. They're not excited to be in the Music City Bowl. But here's the other thing. The team's not excited to be in the Music City Bowl. This team was in a playoff a year ago. This team had every opportunity to get back to a playoff this year, and they fumbled it down the stretch. This team fired the defensive coordinator.
Yep.
They've got multiple opt-outs.
Way more than Illinois. I think they've got at least 5
or 6. With banged up tight ends. I'm gonna sit here and say, this is my thing. Is I've had a really good week being in New York. I can get on my FanDuel betting. I can go do my FanDuel betting, and I've been betting bowl games. And you better believe I jumped all over Houston -1.5. I jumped on Virginia on the money line to beat Missouri. Like I've been hitting on these games. I had Georgia Tech on the money line, and they should have won that game over BYU. They faltered late. The thing is like bowl games, picking bowl game winners are about teams who are more excited to be there, teams who want to win that game more. Last year was different. I think South Carolina had every intention of being a 10-win team last year.
Yep.
And that's why we saw an all-out dogfight. We saw Illinois run very few trickeration stuff. Like we were in a dogfight with a good football team. We ended up winning the game. Great. This one, I don't think Tennessee wants to be there. Like I said, Tim Banks got fired. Everything I know about Tim Banks, pretty good dude, former Illinois DC. So I'm not crapping on Tim. They don't play very good defense. They've got quite a few opt-outs on defense. Number 20, defensive tackles, really good with NFL prospects. So we got to keep an eye on that. Who do we play at left tackle? But I think Illinois wants to win this game more. Yeah, PJ Fleck. There's another one. Minnesota, new Minnesota is going to come in there and win that game. So I think PJ Fleck's won 7 straight bowl games. But
yeah, they haven't lost a bowl game with him. Yeah.
Yeah, so here, and I think that you saw Illinois even against Mississippi State with the opt-outs. We still played hard, played well. We were fighting a little bit of an uphill battle in that game without Spoon, without the Brown twins. Like it was tough.
Yeah, that's tough though. They'd be like, yeah, forget Chase Brown, no Spoon, no Sidney Brown. Like that's different. I think Illinois.
Quan played.
Quan did play. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, Quan played, but Matthew Bailey started though back there too. Yeah. He was a freshman.
Yeah, so you just have a lot of that. I think Illinois really wants to win this game. They want to hang a 9-win. They want to set a program record for wins in back-to-back seasons with 19. I think Illinois wins this game. I think Illinois hangs some points on them. I think this game's like 35-31.
Yeah, because Aguilar and them are going to move the ball. I mean,
they are, and our defense has not been great.
Yeah, but they've had. But I will say, Henry and Bielema have had plenty of time to get a scheme together and to get something brewing here over 4 weeks. And we've talked about after bye weeks how Illinois plays, right, with Bielema, concluding bowl games and all that stuff.
Yeah, the one game we didn't do well was Washington. That's the one when you're looking at like, and that was a long travel and just shit didn't go our way. Here's the thing with Tennessee to watch for is they are really good. They run the ball really well. Forgot the name of the running back is. Kid's tough, runs hard. He's a stud. Tennessee will go to the line with almost 2 plays every time. And if you're heavy in the box, they're going to throw. And if you're light in the box, they're going to pass. Or they're going to run, excuse me. And that's something that Illinois has to keep an eye out for tomorrow is like how can Illinois disguise some of that? And because they can run the ball well. Like the kid's a good football player. It's Dylan Bishop, I think is his name.
Yeah. But one of their other
Deshaun Bishop.
One of the backs, I think, was their leading touchdown guy. He's in the portal, so he's not playing.
Oh wow! All
yeah,
right.
one of their top 3 backs that hit the portal. So, but yeah, so I will say too, and that's true. They've got a good offense, but this is going to be this is going to be a fun one, I think.
Little Bears 49ers level.
What is the actual line on this right now?
It is Tennessee's favored by 2.5, 3.5, something 2.5 to 3.5 right now, and the over/under is like 62.5. So,
okay, so they're expecting a 31-28 type of game, maybe, or
something like
that. Yeah. So, all right, I'm
Tennessee by 3, 61.5. So that's the line.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm with you though. I think, while we would love to see Illinois win, and I don't feel they're going to win just because I want them to win. It's more of who wants to be there more. Plus, I honestly think Illinois has a lot better players that are playing in the game, and have, especially defensively, with experience. Not saying Illinois' defense has been great, but when you have a piss poor defense that has their 2 best defensive backs not playing, their best edge rusher, the best pass rusher not playing, one of their best linebackers. It's, to me, then you're putting in pieces that didn't play as much this year. And, then where's the depth after that, right? So I think Illinois has a little bit more depth that's going to play in this game. Probably going to be a 4-quarter game. But I'm thinking, what'd you say, 35-31?
Yeah.
I'll say 34. I'll say 34-28. I think Illinois is going to win the game. I think that line, the 62 and a half, 61 and a half is probably about right. But hey, I could be wrong. Illinois could put up a 40 spot. Yeah.
I'd love to see who we're going to put at left tackle. That'll be interesting. So.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you on this too. I'll let you go from what you've heard, and I'll add to it since you brought it up. As we're chatting, is it more transfer portal hoop stuff or transfer portal football things you've been hearing and seeing?
Well, like Donovan Starr was one, a guy we were in the thick of things, a Tennessee kid. We were right there with him. 4-star DB a year ago, went to Auburn. He's in the transfer portal. Those are the kind of things that I think that you need to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
So I do think there's some possibility there. The other, like from a basketball situation, is just, we talked about Christian Collins on the show a little bit earlier, but now there's Mika Murinen who's showing up, and like that kid, 6'10".
And you got to think about it. He's playing in the same type of areas. That Illinois has great connections. Yeah. I think he's playing in a Serbian league. Yeah. Yeah, and then Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah, he played on the Finnish team. Lauri Markkanen says he's better than me at the same age. Like they're similar build, similar style of play. He's more athletic. So, and then from a football standpoint, there's got like a Terrell Washington Jr. Name sound familiar? Running back, slot receiver from Iowa. Might end up down in Texas. Trey Wilson, Eugene's son, out of Florida, wide receiver. So there's just like some guys that, and then Rocky Beers, tight end, Colorado State. So
yeah, the Wilson, the Trey Wilson one is interesting to me. I really would have. I think he would get a shot. He'd get a chance to play at Illinois. And I was always wondering. I think Eugene Wilson has a good relationship with Illinois. Heck, I'm pretty sure he's Josh Whitman's teammate.
Yeah.
Eugene Wilson was his teammate because I'm pretty sure he played from 99 to 02.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those big hoop ass earrings, you can't forget it. Playing in them big ass Jordan hoop earrings, and then going and winning a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Sean Garner, I don't know if we need a transfer quarterback. I think there's thought process that these guys we can run it out there with Ethan Hampton or Carson Boyd, let them battle it out. So I'll tell you this. We absolutely do not need a transfer quarterback with more than a year of eligibility unless it's a superstar, because you've got kids coming. It's just a bad sign to Michael Clayton and Camden Lapati, who is Tennessee sniffing around now. So, and if Illinois loses to Tennessee, then what? Who cares? We lost the bowl game.
That's another thing. It's a good sign when other schools like that are sniffing around Illinois commits, I feel like Josh Heupel likes what Illinois has. They're like, hey, we like that Luke Altmyer guy. We need to get him. Oh.
And SDR, you can't sit here and talk about Brett staying put at the same time you're talking about Kyle Whittingham getting the job at Michigan because Sharon Moore decided he wanted to have an affair. Like, that's a different story. There's no, we're fine.
We definitely need defensive pieces more than a transfer portal quarterback. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see a transfer portal quarterback, but I don't know if that's where where you're going to go look at your budget and say, hey, this is what we got to do. I mean, it depends on how they feel about Carson Boyd. Like, if they really Carson Boyd, everything I've heard about the kid, if he was 6'2", he'd have been a 5-star kid and gone to an SEC school.
Yeah, and that's okay, man. It can be another Illinois sleeper here. That's kind of where they kind of know what they're doing with that. So, they're
and I do. The one guy I think that Illinois might make a change in the coaching staff is Bart Miller, but I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. Like, I don't see Brett forcing his hand. I don't think he's going to fire Aaron Henry. And he certainly wasn't going to do it before the bowl game. What good does that do you?
No, if there are some changes, it will be after the bowl game. What about names that you've heard in the portal? I had some people texting me that think they know, and they said that David Alano was a name that they're hearing may hit the portal. I'm thinking, what? Yeah, exactly. Why? I was like, no, ain't no coach gonna have more confidence in David Alano than Brett Bielema. He said he's the best college kicker he's ever had.
He's an Illinois kid too, right?
Yeah, and he's an Illinois kid. I'm telling you, man, that I get messages from so many people, and here's the thing. Obviously, I have a couple people that I trust who've helped, giving me quality info for years. But when you get all these people out of the woodwork, you can't just dismiss everybody all the time. Other people know people. Other people's wives work in the SID department. They might know something. So I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, hey, I don't believe you. But just some of the wild stuff people have messaged me, and I also feel like sometimes they're just trying to find out what I know too.
Right.
So they're like, hey, did you hear this? And I'm thinking,
well, we heard Aiden Lawfrey's name might be mentioned in the transfer portal, and I'm hearing that's not the case now. So
yeah, and see how quick that moves.
I imagine things will change. Things will move. Things will happen.
Brett Bielema did say that only one starter, though, when they met, pretty much told him that he wants to transfer. So we'll see. They've got 6 guys they expect to hit, and he said only one of them is a starter. But you know what? He's still letting them play,
right?
Which I like. So which is good. Kev.
One thing about Alano, this one kind of concerns me a little bit. I'm not trying to throw fuel on the fire, but you can't help it when you have a podcast and you say stuff like this. Some people listen. After the Northwestern game, everybody's like celebrating, jumping on the snow pile. He's just kind of like walking off on his own. Like, it just wasn't involved with the teammates after the game. I don't know what that was about. So, yeah.
Well, hey, at least we know SDR has hair.
Well, maybe Alano had indigestion. Who knows? I don't know. And nobody knows right now if Barry Lundy's going to leave. I think everybody would like him to be back. I personally would like him to back. I like continuity.
The question would be, Kevin, where does he go? Almost the coaching staffs are, a lot of the coaching staffs filled. Like all these smaller schools have hired coaches.
Yeah.
So he's going to leave Illinois to go be an OC somewhere else.
No, I don't see that happening. I honestly thought that Memphis might be a good fit, but they filled that position, didn't they?
They filled it with the Southern Miss head coach, Charles Huff,
which I thought Southern Miss then would have been another one for him, possibly.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we'll see what.
Did Jeff Traylor move on from UTSA?
No, Jeff Traylor stayed at UTSA.
Yeah.
And what's he going to do? Leave and go be the OC at UTSA again? No. So we'll see. I just can't see Barry Lenny leaving Illinois to go be an OC somewhere else.
Right on.
I genuinely believe Whitman would pay him anything that anybody else would offer.
Yeah.
So with that said, Kev, we don't need a 50-some minute episode tonight. I think we said everything we needed. We both think Illinois wins the Music City Bowl tomorrow. We got you ready for Penn State Saturday night. But how about this? We'll go final thoughts. Take a few minutes, whatever you want to do. I'll start with you. I got a specific thing I want to talk about, and it might have to do with Shauna Green and the women's basketball team.
Well, I can tell you this: she's not the Kirk Cincinnati of women's basketball.
No, she's definitely not that. But I can tell you this: she is a amazing coach.
She is. No, I think it's just this last episode of this year. I'll just reflect on it. It's just a really cool place. Here we are in a bowl game. Our team came off another tournament run in the NCAA tournament. Our women's team made the NCAA tournament. It's making the NCAA tournament again. The men's golf team is really good. Like the sports across, other than Illinois wrestling right now, which is a little bit weird situation. Don't want to get into that. It sucks. The Illinois sports and what Josh Whitman has done has just been absolutely incredible. To the point I love, like Brett Bielema wearing a Brad Underwood face on his shirt, and Brad was asked if he's going to do that in Nashville tomorrow, and I just think that there's a lot of really positive momentum across all sports at the University of Illinois. And how many years have we lived where we didn't go to bowl games, let alone 3 and 4 years? How many years did we live without going to the NCAA tournament? And now we're worried about what kind of level we could be. So it's just awesome to be an Illinois fan, and I just love what Josh Whitman's doing, and I hope he stays forever.
Agreed. And in regards to that, let's look at what Shauna Green has done with the Illinois women's basketball program. The best start in the history of the program, 12-1. I mean, you can't get better than the best in the history, can you?
Nope.
So it may not be Kurt Signetti, but shoot, you say tomato, I say tomato. And it's pretty good to me. So just watching those girls play, and what's scary is about the women's team. And you could be said for Illinois basketball men's team too, but they seem to like to go play in the NBA after 1 year. Man, there's so much good young talent on the women's team. It's really scary. I made a tweet yesterday about Barry Wallace. I said, I think when she leaves Illinois, she's going to be the most decorated player in Illinois women's history. She's a sophomore. She's on her way to already being an all Big Ten performer this year. She shoots 87% from the free throw line, 40% from deep. She's got a scary, nice mid-range fadeaway. If you watched the Purdue game yesterday, she was unguardable for a lot of it. And just a sophomore playing her 13th game of her sophomore season. So, and then Gretchen Dolan got a year back. So she's only a sophomore. And then Destiny Jackson, Maddie Weber, Aaliyah Guyton, heck, Kara Parchment, who's a freshman, who's one of the biggest, best stretch bigs in women's in the Big Ten right now. I could keep going on. Hopefully I've impressed Ked and maybe Calamity, McIntyre on the coaching staff. I actually watch their games. So, I'm trying to impress a little bit here. Sometimes we get on here and talk about the women's team, but I hope everybody see, I've been watching, man. I was like, you know what? I could have watched some NFL, but I was like, no, I'm going to watch the women's game. So I was watching them play at Purdue, 12-1, 2-0 in the Big Ten. They host number 7 Maryland. Here, Kev, this is it. if you're in Champaign on New Year's Day, right, you can have a great time during the night, right? New Year's evening, whatever, or the night before. You can whatever you need to do. New Year's Day, 2 p.m. You could be ready for that, right? What else are you doing on New Year's Day at 2 p.m.? Illinois is not playing. Sure, there's a college football playoff game on, but the one you really care about is probably not till 3:30, 4 o'clock. But Illinois, 12 play undefeated top 10 Maryland at home. This would be a huge win for them to go and support.
On BTN, yeah.
Go support these ladies if you can, if you're in Champaign. I think 8,000 they've had. Why not get to 10 to 12? This is a big-time home game for the ladies. So I'm going to say if you are thinking about maybe going to see the Shauna Green team because she's a hell of a coach, go watch this Maryland game at home. It's a great opportunity. It's not going to ruin your day. You can be back at home for the primetime college football playoff games. Go watch. So that's what I got to say. We appreciate all our followers and everybody who's watching. It's a slow growth on YouTube, but we're getting there. But I think it's because Illinois sports, Kevin, as you said, are really flourishing right now.
Yeah, here's the thing about Illinois women's basketball. 12-1, great start. Really weak schedule so far. I'm not knocking it. They handle business. That's what you do. You go 12-1. 6 of their next 8 games are against ranked opponents, with 3 of them being in the top 7. So that's where this January stretch is absolutely brutal. They play Maryland, number 17 in the country. They go at 24 Michigan State, and they get Ohio State at home, number 19, at Penn State, at number 6 Michigan, Northwestern, at number 20 of Nebraska, and then number 4 UCLA in our house. So,
honestly, if they lose 5 of those and win a few through 2 or 3 of those, that's not going to hinder their NCAA tournament chances.
No, they will upset somebody. I think they're going to beat Maryland. I'm just going to say it right now.
I think they'll beat Maryland at home. I think they can beat Ohio State at home. Yeah. And I think they can take care of the Northwesterns on the road. They've got a couple winnable games. At Penn State, I think is going to be a winnable one. I think they can have a chance to split that. If you go 4-4 in that, I think you're putting yourself right on track to be, in the top 20, a 5-6 seed in the NCAA tournament. But so love where these programs are going. Go support the women's team if you can. Other than that, Kev, you'll be sitting there watching from New York, right, with your family for the Music City Bowl.
Yeah, we're gonna get together and we'll be together. By the way, Brad Underwood in his 4th season had Illinois as a number 1 seed. So just saying out loud.
Was someone shit talking, Kev? I'm not looking at this.
Oh yeah. It's just saying that Shauna Green's better than Brad Underwood and all this other stuff. And Brad Underwood in his 4th year had the team as the number 1 seed.
Yeah, Brandon, actually, you want to buy me a shirt? Yeah, you can buy me a shirt, Brandon. How about that? Yeah, I'll send you my size, big dog. I'll message you on X. And you can get Kev a drink. What do you want? What are you looking at? Summer Shandy or
Orange Crush?
A hooch? All right. That'll do it. We'll see you next week. Music City Bowl, 4:30 ESPN. Swami out.
ILO.